Yo, what's really good? This is June Jones, and I'm back with another video. So, I wanted to come real briefly, real quick, and just talk about a few things. How to sell more cars, being a flipper, being a car dealership. Well, let's talk about flippers, because I'm considered a flipper. I won't consider myself as a car dealership. I don't have a storefront. I'm a flipper. I have a couple of cars at a time. So I just want to give some game for people that's probably just getting started, and or some people that's been in the business for a while and just having a hard time right now. I just want to point out like three things, nothing crazy, but just three things. First thing I'll tell you is you're a car salesman. Even though you're a flipper, you're a car salesman. The sooner you can embrace that, you know what I'm saying? The sooner you can embrace that is the more you possibly you will sell more cars, because you will stop thinking about like, okay, I'm gonna get this car and I'm gonna just try to flip it real quick. You know, people coming to look at your cars, you kind of just sitting back, you ain't really trying to, because at first I was kind of doing that, but then I had to realize and be like, okay, I gotta change my mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm a seller. I'm a car salesman. When you can just like realize that and accept the fact that, yeah, you flip cars, but if you want to sell these cars, you have to sell the car. Now, I'm not saying sell people junk, be lying to them, because, I know we all been through stages in our life. We done purchased used cars from either dealerships or people, individual sellers and stuff like that. And you'll be riding down the street and then the check engine light will come on. But when you was there, the check engine light never was on. Just little stuff like that, that's like bad business. You know what I mean? I know that thing happened to a lot of us. So, and I don't want to get off topic, but first I want to say, be a salesman. So when they're on that test drive and you sitting in that back seat and you letting them drive it, sell the car. If it's a good enough car to sell, that's why sell the car. You know what I'm saying? And if the check engine light is on, tell them, be upfront. Because I be up in them groups and I see a lot of people complaining. How do you deal with people calling back and saying they want their money back and all this? Stop lying to people, bruh. Stop lying to customers. Stop lying. If the check engine light on, just tell them, bruh. Tell them what the code is. Let them deal with it. Give them the opportunity and the option to purchase your car. You know what I'm saying? So if the check engine light is on, there's no point in lying to them. Just keep it a bean. You might not be able to make the money that you want on that vehicle. So what? Break even, or just make a couple of 200-300 or something. But don't lie to them. You want your ratings good, but you don't want to lie to people. That's one thing. You don't want people calling you a week later, 4 days later, talking about, oh, well, you told me this, told me that. Yeah, they're signing a bill of sale, but just from the business aspect of it, you don't want that type of you don't want that type of smut on your name, basically, in your city, because that might mess up your other opportunities. You selling these cars, you putting them on Marketplace, Craigslist, and all these other places, but you're not being honest with people. That's where a lot of salesmen, flippers, quick flippers, that's where it go wrong at. A lot of people aren't being honest. The check engine light on halfway down the street, they'll never buy from you again. Never. You know what I'm saying? So, and another thing, learn who you're selling to with the type of car that you have. Know the market of who you're selling to. Who is that customer? Say you got a check engine light on, a little car that you got, or certain things like the radio don't work, or, the windows don't roll. All the windows ain't rolling down. Just be upfront and honest. And then, you might get a lot of hits on them, on that ad on that car, but filter out who to sell that car to. You might get 30, 40, 50 people get at you, but everybody can't get the car. You know what I mean? So even if you had 10 solid leads out of all them leads, and one of them was a 16-year-old, let's just say one of them was like a 15, 16-year-old, they looking for their first car, 16, let's say, and but the radio don't work in this car, or the windows, like just being mindful of who is getting at you for the car, and being mindful of what's wrong with the car and being able to identify certain people. And that's another thing, because you sell a car to the wrong person, it possibly can come back and bite you. Like, go look at them Facebook groups and go look in all them forums and see how many people complaining about people always coming back and calling, saying something wrong. And then they saying, oh, don't sell junk cars. No, it's not that you sold a junk car. You're not being honest. Give them a chance and an opportunity to, if they want it, they want it. And if you drop the price and give it to them for a good price, that's on them. But give them that opportunity. You know what I mean? But what I'm noticing is really try to filter out and be directed. Know what car and what kind of customer you want to buy your car. Because that's what I do. I don't just sell anybody. It might be a lot of people get at me. I might even have conversations with some people. But I know in my mind, just the way you communicate with me, I don't want to sell to you. I want to sell my cars to people that want the car, for one, intrigued with it, and know if something's wrong with it, know like they're fine with it, and they're only looking for this or that. You can't sell some of these cars to certain people. They'll have you in court somewhere. You sell to the right one, they gonna have the right money to take you to court over something, and now you all just screwed up. You know what I mean? So to cut all that, the number one rule, be a car salesman. Sell them the car. Don't sell them no dream, but sell them the car. Check engine light on and all. Learn how to sell. Learn when they in your presence, point out different things. You might have a group of people that pull up with mechanics and want to do all that. That's fine. That's fine. Sell them the car though. Give them the opportunity to buy the car. You know what I mean? Don't just sit back and just be like, oh, well, they on the test drive and they just. But when you on that test drive, talk to them. Even talk about some other stuff left. Just kind of be upfront. A lot of people ain't tripping. If they feel like you being upfront and you ain't trying to run game, they feel more prone to even buy the car. Like, they feel more free. Like, oh, well, he keeping it up front with me. Like, he can't be running game. Like, you ain't acting weird. You ain't trying to hide nothing. You ain't acting like, like you trying to hide something wrong with the engine. If something wrong with the engine, just tell them, bruh. Just tell them. Be upfront. The car's still gonna sell. Because that's one thing I noticed. It's a seat for everybody, but you have to be upfront and you have to be a salesman. So to sum all this up, the number one way to sell more cars, of course, the price, but be a car salesman and know the customer that you're trying to sell the car to. This is June Jones, and I'll see you on the next one.